He suggests that he just go ahead and show you around the ship. So he shows you around the ship. So that is the top deck of the ship. You are right now in the galley lounge, sitting around the big round table there. Here's all the dispensers. You can see here in the corner is the couches and the big screen. There's the bunkhouse that I described with the benches and the lockers and the bunks themselves. And then there's the lower level where the cargo is, the locker room, and that I can't see, but I think it's all self-explanatory, except that at the back of the ship...
What is the locker room for?
It's where they keep the vac suits and where they've got any weapons locked up, as well as basic like survival tools like tents and, you know, little stoves and that sort of thing. There's some explaining that needs to be done in the fresher. First of all, let's talk about the mister. This is a space shower. You're going to step into this little closet sort of thing. And there are some poles that come up to about eye level, one in each corner. On these poles, there are 3 nozzles. One down toward the floor, one in the middle, one up high. They release a mist that will cling to your body, that you basically just rub it and it gets rid of all the oil, dirt, sweat, and all of that. Now, those with longer hair, it's okay. There's a handheld water nozzle in there that you can use for washing your hair, or for if you got back from a job and you're covered in mud or something like that. But we're all about conserving water on here. So I know it's not just water that comes out of the mist jets, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. I know I get it in my eyes and my mouth all the time, and it doesn't irritate or anything. So that's what we have for showers here. Now, as far as the WC, surely somebody here can tell me what WC stands for.
Water closet.
Yeah, that's the water closet.
It's my initials.
And it's your initials, that it is. That doesn't mean they all belong to you, though. So what it is, and I can't get this to pull up, so oh well. You walk up and there's a wall with a mirror that you can look into, okay, inside of this little booth thing. And there is a drawer that you can pull out at about waist, a little bit higher than waist level, and it's got a sink and a faucet in it, okay? And then it slides back into the wall, and there's a handle here that you fold it down, and it's a toilet. And then when you flip that back up, it flushes by itself. So you walk into this little closet thing, there's a mirror and these couple of things. The toilet folds down and the sink slides out. And I had a scene prepped from Firefly, because it's where I got the idea. They have the exact same setup, but I can't get it to work, so it's okay. Anyway, was there any other questions on the map there?
So standing gravity.
Yes. Yep. Grav plates. The miracle of science fiction.
So the mule is something that we pull stuff. That's like the mover.
Mm-hmm.
Is reach truck something to stack stuff with?
Whoa, the reach truck. All right, let's see here. Where do I have that?
And what's in the lockers in the cargo bay?
Same thing. It's got vac suits, excursion suits, whatever you want to call them. It's got various. As a matter of fact, I didn't know you were asking about the lockers in the upper level. Those lockers just have vac suits because that's more like for when you got to go out and work on the ship. So there's vac suits and tools and stuff. On the lower deck, the cargo deck, that locker room has everything. You've got tools. You've got the heavy vac suits. You've got weapons. Yes, all the weapons are locked up on the lower deck. There's what I'm looking for. And the reach truck, if anybody has spent much time at a Home Depot, they have seen one, but here is a picture
Okay. What's in the lab?
Funny you should ask. I figured this is where I could go with more of your input. I've got a lot of this stuff locked down pretty, I've described it all pretty specifically. I mean, you can definitely see in the lab there's a table with 3 chairs around it. But then there's these other things. Are they consoles? Are they countertops? Are the things above them or below them? What does everybody think would be in a lab?
Definitely think there'd be some kind of console that would do some kind of analysis of materials. You know, give you a breakdown of molecules or minerals or whatever.
Perfect. Yep.
Glass vials.
Yep. Glass vials.
Like
Beakers.
computer.
Yeah.
Different type of liquids and materials. So to use in the lab.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, to tell certain things react to other things, so you need to know.
Oh, yeah.
Have
Yeah.
some of that stuff on hand.
I can tell you, sitting on one of the countertops is a large, how shall we describe it? Sort of a satchel. It's just about this size. It is large, it is black, it has a shoulder strap, and that is sitting on one of the things in there. It's an item that'll come up later unless somebody asks, Jax, what is that?
I'll ask.
Okay. That is a portable sample analyzer. Sometimes when we go down and do a little expedition on a planet, we'll take that with us. And he even shows you, he pushes a button and a little door opens up. There's about enough room to put a chicken egg in there. And then you put your sample in, you close it, and you can put in, I think I wrote 4 samples. And it takes some time to analyze them, but it's more than just putting 1 in. You can end up putting 4 in, and it'll begin processing them in the order in which they came.
And I assume since we don't have a shuttle, that the ship is atmosphere ready.
That's right.
What type of food will we eat?
That's a good question. Wesley, go get one.
Freeze-dried.
Sounds like this guy's ready for breakfast. So how about we all go back to the galley and have something to eat?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so he takes you to the console in the galley. And he pulls up a menu and chooses what he wants to eat. And it comes out looking a bit like this, except I visualize it being longer. And it's kind of like a greenish gray. Okay? And he punches he's got a menu where he sees the different dishes that are available. He chooses the one that he wants. I will say that it is beef stroganoff. And out of this hole drops this bag. And it's already hot, even. You tear the top off of it and grab one of their little spork things, and you just eat it right out of this bag. He says the food is actually pretty good around here. It's one of the things that he likes about this ship. Almost anything that you would want is available from the dispenser. There's a couple of 100 different recipes. There are some cold choices as well, but no, you're not going to have pizza. You're not going to have... it's all going to be one meal in a bag. But, again, he says the food is pretty good. The coffee is pretty good. But, yes, there are some, like, salad choices and that sort of thing. So, actually, he wouldn't be having beef stroganoff. It's 7:20 or so in the morning.
I was going to say you're going to eat beef stroganoff for breakfast.
So yeah, I'm going to change that. He wants to have scrambled eggs with sausage and green chilies. So who's going to be brave enough to walk up to the dispenser first? So, oh, right. So we were talking about what was in the lab, and we definitely covered some things. Now, as far as what's in engineering, there are 2 stations there, denoted by the circles, where there are seats to sit on. And then there's that big thing in the middle, which I went through 4 or 5 different versions of it, and I don't even know what it is. So you are the one with the engineering +2, and you've got an engineering +1 or 2? 2. So I figure between the 2 of you, you can tell us what's in that room. But if you guys had any ideas for what might be in engineering, we'd be all ears as well.
I would assume it's the engine. Like this is the...
Some sort of access to part of the engine.
Yeah.
So, do we have weapons on the ship that like cannons?
No. No, Jax explains to you that no spaceships really have weapons unless you're military.
So we have no need for shields or...
Right.
Okay. So we probably... So there'd be something to do... So are the graph... Do the graph plates require some kind of, engineering piece, some kind of power source?
Yes, they are powered. If you guys lose all your power, then yes, you will also lose your gravity.
So we need an engine, we need power for the grav shields, we have some kind of environmental system, and then power for the food, and then just whatever other lights and nonsense.
Yep. So these 2 consoles are perhaps places. Are both of them the places where you monitor and adjust that sort of thing, or just one of them, or what do you think?
It might be split up. There might be one that's like engines, and then another one that might be like environmental controls.
Life support.
Okay, that makes sense.
There might also be one of them maybe you have like a sense of external, internal, where maybe the one that does the engine also monitors things like the communications and the sensor.
Right. Okay, that sounds good to me. Does anybody feel that there's a room missing? Is there anything else that should be on this ship somewhere? Because we're going to kind of make this ship together. I mean, I've thrown together the initial plan. But it ain't my story. It's everybody's story. So if anybody thinks of something that I forgot, I can make changes to the floor plan and everything if we can all agree on it. Now, we'll say that we are on the bridge now. So you've got this square room. And I couldn't depict it very well with the very limited drawing tools that I had. But at each corner, you each have a main screen. There is no window to the outside. It's not like
Anywhere in the ship.
Right. So each one of these consoles, you do have a big screen, and you got some other little screen, and you got a whole bunch of buttons and switches and all that. But as you can tell, they are pretty close together, so that navigation and the helm and the ship systems, you could pretty much just put a chair between the 2 of them. And they've got like the rolly chairs, so you can go back and forth. I mean, really, one person could basically run this ship, all things being equal. Now, if anything unusual happens, it's definitely handier to have all 4 people there. But right now, we're running on a lighter crew, slightly lighter, because that's what the company has available at the moment. But I mean, like communications and tactical, tact there. You don't always need somebody at it. Sensors, you don't always need somebody at it. At both ComTac and NavHelm, you have basically detectors. So like NavHelm can see that there's a ping bouncing back at him. And his console is loaded with maps and that sort of thing. So he can see, oh, it's the planet Snarlax, or it's the Halley's Comet, or whatever. It matches it to a library. To actually do detailed scans requires being at the sensor station. But surprises rarely happen, so it's not really necessary.
Space is mostly empty.
Space is mostly empty. And then it's the other thing with the calm tact is you can see every kind of energy signature and pretty much match it to something that's in the library there at calm tact. But if you see like an energy spike somewhere, you can tell what kind of energy it is, but that's about all you can tell. Sensors would have to do a more detailed scan. Okay. Jex says that now that everybody seems calmer, I'm going to head to the fresher for a mist, and I'll be back in 15, 20 minutes or so. And you guys are left standing there on the bridge by yourself. Hira, what is going through your mind after all of this?
Well, this is a big ship. Why would I choose to do this?
And
They have these weird showery things, and I mean, we might have to, put on a vac suit and go outside a spaceship.
Are you saying any of this out loud?
No, I'm probably just thinking it to myself as I look around at these people that I don't even know. And
So, Bardak, what is Bardak thinking, or do you got something to say now that Jex is out of the room?
I have something to say. I think it's weird that no one will ever quit. No one will ever look for a different job. It seems suspect. No company could be so perfect, but there would never, you would never say, "Oh, I want to become a baker or photographer," write that novel. But I've been thinking about my 10 years sitting in space, or whatever.
And what could be so bad that we wanted to have our minds erased?
I could see people wanting to have their minds erased. But it just seems that unlikely that, if you've made decisions that have led to that, would you then be so faithful to your company that you would stay until you die?
Very true.
You might be, maybe we're impulsive, or maybe, I don't know, are we impulsive?
And did we know what we were getting into when we decided to do this?
I wish we could find out more. I feel like at the first space part we should try to do some research on the organization that we should do it on the ship. Because it's probably wrong information, if any, and there might be logs of who's accessing the information.
That's true.
What about you? What do you think about the things they're saying here? Can you think of something that would be so horrible that you'd want to just forget everything and go away for the rest of your life?
The whole family died and you have no friends and us or homeless.
Not only that, why is this guy Jex flying the same route for the last 6 years? I mean, is it that great of a job?
Maybe we should pay close attention and find out. It seems so great, and we want to stick around.
Do any of us know what any of the beeps and blips and symbols on the screens mean? Can we read them, or are they in English, or are they just symbols, or?
They're in, I forget what they call. You know how like in D&D it's not English, it's common. In this game I believe they call it Galanglic or something like that. So yes, essentially English. Yes, I mean, you've got a +2 in electronics and engineering. and what's the other one?
Computers.
And computers. So yes, you can definitely make some sense of it. You likewise have some piloting skills and astrogation skills, so you recognize what some of these controls do.
So can I? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so can I like go up there and start? You know, I mean, apparently I know some things about computers, so.
If you guys want to futz with the controls, you can make some sense of the controls if you wanted to. You can see the heading that you're on, the course that you're on.
Well, I wouldn't sit at one of I'd sit at like sensors or something that's not gonna, you know, cause
Change
the
course.
thing, you know, or
Yeah.
fly off to the side and then he ejects, comes running to the bridge or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, do we have the same accent?
Yes.
Do we have different skin color? Or
No.
anything that would indicate that we're from different planets?
Nope.
Or even from different parts of a planet.
Nope. So far as you can tell, you are all.
We could all be from the same city.
Yeah.
Same neighborhood.
For all you know, you're mom, dad, and 2 sons.
Okay.
You have no reason to believe anything or anything to the contrary.
Yeah, and I wouldn't go messing around with ship systems either.
Now, if you wanted, why do I keep forgetting your name now?
Bosk.
Bosk. If you wanted, you could ask Bosk to see if if you really are in the heading that Jex claimed, or if you were curious enough yourself. I mean, you've never flown a ship like this, but you've got a +2 in astrogation, as I recall, so you'd be able to look at the course and see whether or not you're actually going where Jex says you're going.
So yeah, why don't you look over at the I guess that would be nav helm.
Yep.
And have a look and see if we're headed where he says we're headed.
So why don't you give me do you agree to do that? Excuse me. Okay, so why don't you roll me a 2d6.
We're supposed to trust this guy. I don't know about that.
8. All right. Well, you punch up the stuff on the astrogation computer. Oh, actually, that would have been 8 + 2 for astrogation. We'll get to that in a second. And yes, you confirm that you are leaving. You are on your way out of the Nellius system. As far as that, you don't see any other course plotted.
No course plotted.
Well, just the course is plotted to leave the system, headed for deep
Dallas?
space. No, to deep space.
Oh,
He told you that you guys are on your way out of the Nellius system, and when you've gotten out to deep space, you're going to make a jump to the Dallas system.
okay.
So that course wouldn't be plotted yet. So, you confirm that you really are on your way out of the Nellius system. And again, Jex is not there on the bridge with you. Do you guys got anything else you want to discuss amongst yourselves?
I think I'd say I don't trust this guy, but I have no reason not to trust him or to take any extreme action
Right. Yeah, that's,
until I know more.
Okay.
and
So
it
people
seems that
know.
we're on the same, or on the course that he told us we were on.
All of a sudden, there's a beeping. Beep, 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 beep.